Hello! Welcome back to English Talking Practice. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you. I'm Lily.
And I'm David. We're here to help you practice your English with real, simple conversations. Please, if you like our videos, help us by liking and subscribing.
Yes, it helps so much. And when you subscribe, you join our English Talking Practice community. Today, we are going to talk about a fundamental and highly useful topic, adverbs of frequency.
That's right. These are the small but mighty words that tell us how often we do things. Words like always, never, usually, and sometimes. They are essential for talking about your routine and habits.
So, David, how are you today? I'm feeling great. I feel very energetic, which is not always true on a Monday.
I am good, thank you. I am ready to talk about these words. You know, you mentioned Monday morning, and one habit I always have is needing my coffee immediately.
I know. You always drink coffee. How many cups do you usually drink every day?
Ooh, that's a dangerous question. I usually drink 2 or 3 cups. It's a bit of a bad habit, I know. It's like a rule for me. I always need that coffee before I can start my computer.
I understand. My habit is different. I never drink coffee. I prefer tea. I always drink green tea in the morning, every single morning, because I don't like coffee.
Tea is definitely your thing. Let's talk about the very first moment of the day. When your alarm rings, what do you usually do?
Well, my alarm rings at 7:30 a.m. I always stay in bed for about 5 minutes. I need a little time to open my eyes. I sometimes check the news on my phone quickly, just the headlines.
I do the same thing. I always check my phone immediately after I open my eyes. My doctor says it's a bad habit because the light is not good for your eyes in the morning.
He is right. We need to change that habit. After those 5 minutes, what do you do? Do you always make your bed?
I usually make my bed. Maybe 4 days out of 5. It's a small thing, but it makes the room look tidy. What about you? Do you always make your bed?
Me? I sometimes make my bed. Not always. Sometimes I'm in a hurry, so I just leave it. But I always open the window to feel the fresh air.
That is a very healthy habit. After the bedroom, we go to the bathroom. What do you always do there?
I always brush my teeth. I use mint toothpaste. And I usually wash my face with cold water because it helps me wake up quickly.
I usually use warm water. I never use cold water. It's too cold for me. But I always take a shower every morning. It helps me wake up and feel ready for the day.
That is a very good routine. So after you get dressed, it's time for work. Since you work in an office, how do you usually get there?
I usually take the bus. The bus ride is about 20 minutes. I often listen to music on the bus to relax. What about you? You work from home, so you always have a short commute, right?
Yes, my commute is always from the kitchen to my desk. So I never take the bus or car for work, which is very convenient.
You are very lucky. So let's talk about work habits. Do you always start your day by checking emails?
I usually start by checking my emails. I often have many emails, so I need to prioritize. I always keep a big bottle of water on my desk and try to drink water all day. That's a good habit.
That's smart. I always make a list of things to do, my to-do list. If I don't always make a list, I often forget something important.
Making a list is a sign that you are very organized, David. Are you always on time for meetings?
Hmm. I am always on time for big client meetings, but for the small internal meetings with my colleagues, I am often late. It's a bad habit.
That is not a good habit. You said you often think you have more time than you do. You need to try to always arrive 5 minutes early.
5 minutes early? That sounds difficult, but I will try. Now, let's talk about the evening. After work, do you often go to the gym?
I sometimes go to the gym, maybe 2 times a week, but I often go for a walk in the evening after dinner. Walking is a healthy habit.
That is impressive. I never go to the gym. My exercise is usually just walking to my kitchen to cook dinner.
That is not real exercise, David. You need a new habit.
I know. But when I cook dinner, I always wash the dishes immediately after I eat. I never leave dirty dishes in the sink.
That is a very, very good habit. I usually wash my dishes immediately too, but if I'm very tired, I sometimes leave them for the morning.
That is okay. You are allowed to be tired sometimes. After cleaning the kitchen, what do you usually do to relax?
I often watch a TV series, maybe a comedy, or I sometimes call my family. I always try to drink a cup of herbal tea before bed.
I usually play video games for about an hour, but I always read a book before sleep. Reading is a good habit that helps you relax.
Reading is much better than the bad habit we talked about earlier, checking the phone in bed.
Yes, we both often look at our phones in bed, and we always know the light is bad for sleep. That's one bad habit we need to change together.
Let's promise to read a paper book instead of checking the phone, at least usually. Now, what about the weekend? Is your routine different?
Oh, yes. My weekend routine is completely different. I always sleep late on Saturday morning. I usually wake up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m.
10 a.m.? I never sleep that late, even on the weekend. I always wake up at 8 a.m. It's just my habit now.
That's too early for me. On the weekend, I usually make a big breakfast, brunch, and I often meet my friends for lunch or play football.
On Sunday, I always clean my apartment. I wash my clothes and vacuum the floors. That's my Sunday habit.
You are very organized. I sometimes clean my apartment, but not always on Sunday. I usually wait until it is very messy.
Well, you see, using these adverbs helps us talk about all the different things we do. We used many useful words, David.
We did. Always, never, usually, often, and sometimes. It's time for a mini vocabulary review.
We used some fantastic words just now. Always, never, usually, often, and sometimes. Let's do a quick mini vocabulary review to make sure everyone remembers them because these words are essential for talking about routine and habits.
Great idea, Lily. We call these 5 words adverbs of frequency, and they tell us how often an action happens. It's like a percentage from 0% to 100%. They are essential for talking about your routine and habits.
Let's start with the strongest words, always and never. Always, ALWAYS, means 100% of the time. You do this thing every time, with no exceptions. It is your rule.
For example, I always drink coffee in the morning. It means I drink it every single morning, guaranteed. Another example, I always say thank you when I leave a store. It is the polite thing to do.
And never, N-E-V-E-R, is the opposite. It means 0% of the time. You do not do this action ever. For example, Jack never goes to the gym. That means 0 times. You also said you never drink coffee, David, only tea.
That's right. And I never forget my wife's birthday. It would be a huge problem if I did. So always 100% and never 0% are very clear and strong.
Now let's look at the words in the middle. Usually, U-S-U-A-L-L-Y, means most of the time, maybe 70% to 90%. It is your normal habit, your normal routine.
I usually make my bed after I get up. It means most days I make it, but maybe on a very busy Tuesday, I forget. It is the normal way, your normal routine.
Another example, I usually drink tea. It means most days I drink tea, but maybe sometimes I drink juice or water. It is the standard habit.
Next is often, O-F-T-E-N. This is less than usually, maybe 50% to 70%. It means many times or frequently.
For example, I often go for a walk in the evening. It means many evenings, but not every evening. It is a frequent activity, but you can sometimes skip it.
Another excellent example, I often lose my keys. It happens many times, which is a bad habit and very frustrating, but it doesn't happen 100% of the time.
And the last word is sometimes. S-O-M-E-T-I-M-E-S. This is less than often, maybe 30 to 50%. It means it happens on some occasions, but it is not your normal behavior.
I sometimes eat cookies for dessert. It means sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's occasional. I sometimes go to the gym, but it's rare.
We must also talk about where these adverbs go in the sentence, because this is the most common mistake English learners make.
You are right. This is important. The general rule is adverbs of frequency go before the main verb, but after the verb to be.
That's perfect. Let's give some examples for the main verb rule. The main verb is the action, like drink, go, make. We put the adverb before it. I always drink coffee. I never go to the gym.
You usually make your bed. We often talk about books.
And for the verb to be, am, is, are, we put the adverb after it. Jack is often late for meetings. I am always happy to see you.
The rule is simple, but the practice takes time. Adverb before action, adverb after to be.
Let's try a quick practice game to check our viewers' understanding. I will say a sentence, and our friends at home will try to insert the correct adverb.
Excellent idea. Viewers, are you ready? Number 1, I blank check my phone right after I wake up. It's the first thing I do. Answer, always.
Number 2, I never eat meat, but I blank eat fish when I go to a restaurant. Answer, sometimes.
Number 3, my coworker is often late for meetings, but I am blank on time for big client meetings. Answer, always.
Number 4, I am blank tired after a big lunch, but not every day. Answer, often, or usually.
Number 5, I blank wash the dishes by hand because I don't have a dishwasher. Answer, always or usually.
Wonderful! We hope you got those right. Remembering these 5 words, always, usually, often, sometimes, never, will help you tell the story of your life clearly in English.
Well, Lily, we have talked for a long time about habits and routine today. I feel much more organized just having this conversation.
We really did. We explored the tiny details that make up our days and specifically how to use functional language to describe how frequently we do things.
Let's do a quick summary of what we practiced for our friends learning English. First, we learned that a habit is something you do regularly, and a routine is the sequence of those habits from morning to night.
That's right. And we learned how to use 5 specific adverbs to describe these actions. Always, 100%, never, 0%, usually, most of the time, often, many times, and sometimes on some occasions.
We practiced talking about our morning routine, waking up, making the bed, and our evening habits, like whether we always relax or sometimes check our phones in bed.
We also noted that our work days and our weekends always have different routines. We use these adverbs to describe those differences too, like how I never sleep in late, but you always do on Saturday.
The most important message is that these simple words make your English much clearer. You can use simple sentences like, I always brush my teeth, or I usually relax in the evening.
So we covered a whole day and learned new words. We hope everyone feels more confident now to describe their own life and their own frequency of actions. Learning these words is a great achievement.
Now, it's your turn to practice. We always like to finish with a question of the day. This is your chance to practice your English writing.
Our question is, what is one thing you always do and one thing you never do? Try to tell us about a habit and use the words always and never in your answer.
For example, you can write, I always drink 2 glasses of water before I eat breakfast, or I never go to the gym on Fridays.
Please write your answer in the comments below. We read all your comments and we love them. When you write, you are practicing your English. That's a good habit.
Thank you for practicing with us today. Keep practicing, and we will see you next time on English Talking Practice. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.